Hello, welcome back to Painting Mansions of Madness. I'm Travis, and I will be continuing to work us through this process of getting your game painted. Today's focus is going to be on priming. You need to get a good foundation on which to apply your paints. If you don't use a primer, paints tend to react weird. I've seen it wipe off without primer. We're going to begin with talking about some different options, and then I'm going to tell you which one we plan to choose and use. The probably most prevalent choice you'll ever see is spray can primers. This one is a fast dry spray paint that you can pick up at Walmart for 96 cents, maybe more, maybe less, but under $1. If you're going this method, you'll want to make sure that you get flat black or flat white. Xandergy Dust, I've actually got this for a different model I'm painting altogether, but it's going to put a tan color as opposed to black or white, and it'll save me a step later painting for that. A little bit more expensive. There's also other companies such as Army Painter, Color Primer Barbarian Flesh. This gives me a good base coat on which to paint up from. I think that pretty much sums up sprays. Another option, this actually here is Vallejo Surface Primer. And this is a gray color as opposed to white or black. You can paint this on with a brush. If you paint this straight on, it may be a little bit thick, not as spread as well. If you apply a little bit of the thinner, it will do a thinner, more even coat. I am going to be using the less than $1 spray paint from Walmart. Today, when I'm showing you, we're going to be spraying the Cultists. I think they will benefit from using the black primer. If you're holding it in your hand and you're going to spray it, it's going to get all over your fingers. If you set it down, it's going to stick. So there's a few different options I'm going to discuss and then show you the one I choose. There is the option that Citadel provides of putting them in a box. I recommend not using it. I've had the worst problems with this method. GW actually replaced probably $500 worth of models one time because I showed them what happened. I bought a huge Eldar army. If you're into 40K, you know what Eldar are. They're supposed to be smooth armor, and they just look like gritty, it looked like shoo-poo the box method. Official, no good. All right, another method that people like is you could use a yardstick if you had a lot of miniatures, but if you're just doing a couple, what you're going to get wall tacky. It's used for hanging posters up to walls. You stick a piece to the wood at increments. Then I'm going to take the model, and I want to use the surface that I don't want paint on, so like the foot, this has a little peg. I'm just going to shove that down into the wall tacky. From there, I have models that I can spray. I'm not going to get the spray on my hand. I have also found a method that uses electric gator clips. It's in, I think, the automotive department at Walmart. Just go in and tell them you're looking for electric test clips, and they should be able to take you there. Now, Josh has affixed them here to is this Red Solo? What is this cup?
The brand?
The brand.
Whew.
So we got 6 clips. I will use the clip to attach the miniature. I got that one on there. I got this one on here. Pew. And you can see I can hold this at multiple angles and spray. Pew. I want to hold it like this though.
Well, there's no reason you can't. You get a drink of water.
I wouldn't recommend that. At home, I used alligator clips, and I went to a China wall buffet, or they had wooden chopsticks. And I used the thin end of the chopsticks, or you can slide the chopstick up in. Just stick your chopstick or paintbrush up in there. Take a little dab of super glue, put it on there, wiggle it around, turn it, wait for it to set. If you want to spray one model, same method, you put it on here. Pew. You put the model, clip it on, and you can do one model at a time. What I do from there, I have a wood block that I took a drill bit and I drilled holes to fit the chopsticks, and I'll set it in the wood block to dry. If I'm doing a large group, I'll sit there, do one model at a time, stick it in there. That way I can focus on one model and make sure it gets full coverage.
Yeah, you're too tall for
I'm
face.
Too tall for face.
How'd you get so much taller than me?
I don't know. I grew. I ate 3 times a day. All right, so we have moved outdoors. It is a little bit cooler than recommended temperatures, but we're going to make it work. We'll see how it turns out when we're done. Again, if you plan on doing it indoors, make sure you have good ventilation because the fumes are hazardous.
Paint spraying, there are not only the dangerous mists which we can see, but also the invisible harmful vapors given off by the thinner.
I think I'm going to start with the cup. Good for doing a lot of models at once. We're just focusing on the one. Some considerations when you're spraying. We were talking about being sure your can is shaken up. Another good thing to do before you start spraying the model is to give a good blast with your spray paint, because sometimes some stuff will get clogged in the inner tube that this paint comes through. Once you get that good blast, you'll want to make sure to hold your paint, I don't know, 10, 12 inches away from the model. If you get too close to the model, it can do something where it just fills up the details and then it'll turn into pools and puddles on the model and essentially ruin it. But you want to get a good distance of about 10 to 12 inches and work in short blasts. That 1, 2, about 1 second short blasts. And you'll be able to rotate the cup in your hand to get all angles of the model. And this model is it's already got a really good cover. I don't know if you can zoom in on there.
Let me try. Let me give it a shot.
It does have kind of a glossy look right now. As the paint dries, it will turn into the flat black. All right, so we got that one done. So we're transferring over to the Cultist on a stick. I got no Jeff Dunham jokes for you with that, and these models were super easy. Oh, I see a little bit on the top. And you may get some spray paint on your hands, but it's a lot less than if you're holding it. You see, we chose a pretty open space. That cloud, if you're beside your house outside, it could spray, get on that. You might want to stay away from any kind of cats, lawn cats, the pool cat. You don't want this stuff getting in there. So if you are outside, be sure to do an open space. If you're inside, use cats. But I think we are done priming and it's time to go back inside. Model and the stick will probably dry by the time we get inside. I ripped the brush off of the stick. I'm gonna stick him.
You can put another alligator clip on the other side.
Oh, you can be like the Darth Maul of stick primers.
Yeah.
You can get a double alligator clip going on. Our paint is almost dry. I'm gonna give it just a touch the bottom of the model just to test, to see how the primer adhered to the surface. I was a little bit nervous because it was a colder day here in December, but I'm not having paint coming off. Our methods did well, and we still got a lot of detail. You can see his mustache clearly. He's got his eyes. There's eyebrows in there. You can see his individual fingers. Now, because we're doing this video series in stages, we have only primed these. If you would like, you could prime all of your models at once. That is up to you. In this series, we'll prime as we go and work on the different models. If you would like to see us in how we prime one of the models, say for example the Star Spawn, because he has those weird wings that you gotta get under, just send in a request down there. Thanks for watching. I still love you.
When you laugh after it, it sounds a little insincere.
I do not endorse Subway.
Oh, there you go.
I do endorse Fresh. Fresh is always good. What did they call me in that first video? Gangster? What was it? What did they call me?
They?
I don't know. The editing people.
The editing people?
The spooks.